Hello everyone, I'm Dalton Burdett,
I'm Ryan Warner.
and we are the Movie Nights. Well, some of them. If you're watching this because you want to hear our uncensored and unfiltered thoughts and opinions about the world of movies, so kick back, grab a snack, and thank you for being a part of the conversation. That's two in a row. That's 2 in a row for 2020. We're gonna try to mess that up less. Although next week is gonna be the one where I'm just like, my God, I'm talk like that in front of all those goddamn people.
Speaking of, what happened this morning?
This morning were the Oscar nominations, my dude.
Yeah.
And if you follow the channel, you should have saw the video yesterday of us reacting to the nominations live. Even though the camera died on Best Picture. Or the card got full.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, it was a doomed video to begin with.
But I'd say we nailed them all. Like, all of our predictions were correct, I must say.
No. Not at all. However, we were 3 for 5 in most of the categories. Some 5 for 5,
Yep.
some 4, some 2, but we like the steady was like a 3 for 5.
And I'd say that's in all of the major ones.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Let's go ahead and break down the Oscars.
Let's break down the Oscar nominations. Let's start from the bottom.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we're gonna start with visual effects.
Fucking kill me.
We'll get to you in a second. Let's talk about the actual nominees first. The nominees for visual effects for the 2020 Academy Awards: Avengers: Endgame, The Irishman, 1917, The Lion King, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Now, thoughts on the nominations? Because I think like all the visual effects in these movies were good.
Yeah.
So like there's no like blatant like what choice, but I do feel like there could have been films that had better visual effects.
Cats. No, I'm just fucking
For those of
kidding.
you who remember, Ryan predicted that Cats would get a best visual effects
Now,
nomination.
this was before the review embargo. That was before the movie
Yes.
came out.
Yes, before
I was
all
just
of
going
that.
on a hunch that, that movie is all about visual effects.
Yep.
Like, yeah, why not,
Yeah.
No, I was horribly wrong. I watched that movie, and
I did not. I didn't watch it because of what he told me about it.
It is honestly probably the worst movie I have ever seen. And that's a bold statement.
I gotta get the Blu-ray.
But I'd like to say I put out, in my original nominations, I put Cats over Avengers Endgame, so I just want to put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll own up to it, not a problem.
Yep.
Also, instead of Lion King, I put Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah.
But Lion King, after thinking about it, like it makes sense because that is all visual effects. Like you'd like to think of it as live action.
Yeah.
Because that's what Disney's doing with all their original movies, but it's
all CG.
Yeah.
And for me, I got 4 of these right. I missed 1917. Instead, I had put Ad Astra in our video, but turns out Ad Astra wasn't even on the list. So then I was like, Alita Battle Angel, and then that was also wrong.
Yeah.
But so I would have been wrong either way. And but 1917, I've seen it. It does have very good visual effects, but I do feel like I feel like this is the first Man of this of this year where that the visual effects aren't. There's not a whole ton of visual effects. It's just you don't know when it's a visual effect.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, the transition, the hidden edits with the VFX is disgusting in the movie. I won't lie. But there's a sequence where a plane crashes, and then when the camera goes in on the plane, it's a practical plane. And there's someone in it. So, and when I was watching that, I genuinely don't know. Because there's no, cut or, visible cut. The plane crashes, and then the camera goes in after it crashes, and it's a practical plane. But you know they didn't crash. It was a visual effect plane. Yeah. So I'm still trying to figure out in my head how they did that. So I think it's VFX like that earned this nomination for 1917. So I'm not upset with the nomination at all.
Yeah. No, I'd say that there's really no surprises. Like after thinking about it, of course, hindsight's always 2020. You're like, like that. That makes sense for this category. But let's move on to costume design. There are some surprises here, I must say.
Yes.
The nominations are The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. If you want to go ahead and talk about any surprises, any snubs that you feel like may have happened in this category.
Snubs. No Dolomite Is My Name. Which I was like, I thought that was a lock when we were predicting the nominees. I genuinely am shocked that was not nominated. I feel like an idiot for not predicting Jojo Rabbit when literally we were talking about costume design, like, oh, most period pieces get it, and blah, 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 blah. And then Jojo Rabbit just went right the fuck over our heads.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure everyone watching it at that point was like, you literally just said period piece, and you're talking about Jojo Rabbit.
Went right over Jojo Rabbit. However, I did get 3 correct. I got Joker, Little Women, and Once Upon a Time, all correct. But yeah, The Irishman and JoJo were snuck in on me. But again, I'm not upset with any of these nominees at all. I mean, I'm not upset.
Yeah. And these are all period pieces, but I think all of our nominations were period pieces as well.
Yeah.
Along with Dolomite is my name and fucking up motherfuckers is my game. I'd say another surprise was Rocket Man. No love for Rocket Man.
No love. There was barely any love for Rocket Man.
Yeah. Because obviously Elton John is a very extravagant man, at least with his costumes, his persona, his lifestyle, and he projects a lot of his his personality in his costumes. So I thought that was going to be a lock, but I actually only walked away with 2 out of 5 on this one for Little Women and Once Upon a Time. Again, not mad at any of these. I would have liked to see Rocket Man get a little bit of love over all of these, but I understand why all of these were nominated. Yeah,
absolutely. Let's move on to makeup and hairstyling, which decided to have 5 nominees this year. But the nominees are Bombshell, Joker, Judy, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and 1917. The 3 that I thought were going to be the only ones nominated got nominated.
Okay.
I was incorrect about the other 2.
But that's just because you picked 3.
Yeah, but also, I haven't seen Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, but from what I understand, a lot of that was CGI, but I guess just the way she's set up is... I wonder if the first one got a nomination. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look.
Quick.
But 1917 is the one that fascinates me, because while, they're all soldiers from World War One, I feel like there are other films that could have... Like Rocket Man should have gone over something like this, in my opinion, at least. And I was also very like, if you're going to do the 5, I'm very surprised that Rocket Man was not on here.
Yeah. No,
Although Bombshell and Judy were like, just the way they transform those actors.
Really only 2 locks, at least from my end, because I got 2 out of 5. The biggest surprise is Maleficent, because like you, I just didn't even think about that movie. I, like you, haven't seen it either. But I'm currently looking up the awards. It was nominated for 1 Oscar. Let's see what it was.
The first one?
Costume design.
So not even makeup and hair. Weird.
Very weird.
But hey, that's why you campaign. You never know what you're going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
But pretty straightforward. I do wish that Rocket Man would have gotten love in this category if they were going to do 5 like they did. But yeah.
Because they really went all out for makeup and hair to make him look like Elton John. To the point where, like, he's said several times that he was scared that his hair wasn't going to grow back because they just kept cutting it a certain way to look like Elton John. That's neither here nor there.
But next was Best Original Song. The nominees are I Can't Let You Throw Yourself Away from Toy Story 4, I'm Gonna Love Me Again from Rocket Man, I'm Standing With You from Breakthrough, Into the Unknown from Frozen 2, and Stand Up from Harriet. I got 3 of these correct. I got I'm Gonna Love Me Again, Into the Unknown, and Stand Up correct. While I didn't expect the Toy Story 4 song to get in, I'm happy that it did. And while good for Breakthrough on a Christian movie getting into the Academy Awards.
Absolutely.
And also very sad that Speechless isn't on here. I really enjoyed that Aladdin song.
Yeah. Honestly, I felt like Speechless was this year's Shallows, but it wasn't to the level.
It wasn't in the pop culture as much as Shallow. Like Shallows was on every radio station. It was in every Vine and TikTok. It was everywhere. Where Speechless was just kind of like the one thing when you walked out of the remake of Aladdin, like, that was a good song.
Yeah, you know? And I thought that was hopefully going to carry it over. But unfortunately it didn't. Like you, though, I got 3 out of 5. I got I'm Gonna Love Me Again, Into the Unknown, and Stand Up.
Nice. Oh, same as me.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on to original score. Go ahead and read them off, sir.
Yeah. I will butcher some of these names, unfortunately.
I'll just do the movies.
Okay, well, we got Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Any surprises? Anything you feel good about?
Not really surprises. 1917, That's the only one I got wrong. I got the other 4 correct.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, 1917 had a good score.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that if they were going to give us some love, if they didn't give it to Lupita Nyong'o, they were going to give it here.
Mm-hmm.
But then now you think about it, and, like, that score is really just a variation of I got 5 on it.
Okay.
So is it an original? I mean, there's other score pieces in it. But I thought that if they were going to give it love, it might be in this category.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. All of them are good choices, so I'm not like offended that there's any of these are nominated.
Yeah.
But was a little surprised that Us didn't make it in. How about yourself?
I put Parasite over Little Women,
Mm-hmm.
so I got 4 out of 5. But very happy with all the nominations that came out. I'm not upset about anything, not surprised by anything. Would have liked to see Parasite get this, but I completely understand why Little Women is over there instead of Parasite. No, I'm not saying that's the one that took its spot, but that's the one that
when you were predicting, yeah. And Little Women did have a really good score.
Mm-hmm.
Alexandra Desplat's a good composer.
Yeah, so next we do have production design.
Yes.
Which
I also got 4 out of 5 on.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. So we got The Irishman,
Mm-hmm.
Jojo Rabbit, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite.
I will say the happiest thing with this category for me is the inclusion of Parasite. Because when I was watching that film, not only did I really, really love the production design in that movie, but I also, like, the production design is part of the storytelling.
Yeah.
And I was worried that it might not get the love, but I'm really happy to see that it did. And again, I feel like an idiot for not thinking about Jojo Rabbit. And that's, spoiler alert, Jojo Rabbit's my favorite movie of 2019, and how I didn't, like, put it in these categories is baffling me. But yeah.
I think it's just one of those things that we weren't really thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
We were thinking more on the directing and acting standpoint rather than the technical side of it. But I got 3 out of 5 on this. 1917, Once Upon a Time, and Parasite, like you, very, very, very ecstatic that Parasite has this nomination.
Yes.
But because they did the old switcheroo for sound mixing and sound editing, so we can't even combine them.
Nope. Which is unfortunate, but I'll go ahead and read off sound mixing.
Yeah.
Ad Astra getting a little bit of love. Ford v Ferrari, Joker, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I only got 2 correct.
I got 3 out of 5 on this one.
Yeah, I only got Ford v Ferrari in 1917.
Oof. See, here's where you messed up. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's what I put in.
Yeah.
I have Ford v Ferrari, 1917, Once Upon a Time.
I mean, pleasantly surprised that Joker's in here, but that wasn't one that I was anticipating.
Why Rise of Skywalker isn't in this one, I don't know. Spoiler alert, it's in sound editing. Any thoughts and opinions on sound mixing, or just want to move on?
I just kind of want to go.
Alright, sound editing. We have Ford v Ferrari, Joker, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, just flip Star Wars and Ad Astra. I think that's it.
Film editing. You had an interesting fact about this.
I'm going to save that fact for the end of the show.
For the end?
Yes.
Okay.
Or the end of the Oscar part of the show.
Okay.
But, yes, film editing. I only got 2 of these correct, and I'm sad.
I only got... Oh, I don't know for sound editing if I said it, but I got 4 out of 5 for sound editing.
Fucking bastard.
I know. Film editing, I got 2 out of 5. You said you got 2 out of 5 as well?
Yes.
Okay. What'd you get?
I got Ford v Ferrari and The Irishman are the ones I got right. And did you read the rest of the categories? Because the nominees, I don't know if we read them off already.
Yeah, just go ahead.
I zoned out. Ford v Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, and Parasite.
Okay. And what'd you have, I'm sorry?
I had Ford v Ferrari and The Irishman.
Okay. I had Irishman and Parasite. Surprised... I'm surprised Jojo isn't in there.
Jojo is in there.
Oh, fuck. I'm surprised I didn't pick Jojo. I mean...
Yeah, no, again, the hindsight on Jojo a lot. And I picked it for the major categories.
Yeah.
I just didn't pick it for some of the smaller ones because I expected that film to be overlooked in those smaller categories. Okay. And I'm pleasantly surprised that it wasn't.
My big fear, I know we're not going to do winners just yet. Yeah. My big fear is it's going to get all the recognition in the smaller categories and it's going to get shafted in the major categories.
Yeah, maybe. It might.
But ultimately, we'll see what happens when these studios push these movies when we get closer.
Let's move on to Best International Feature Film.
That they changed from Best Foreign Film.
And I'm glad they changed it.
Yeah.
I got 3 of these correct, but here are the nominees. Corpus Christi, Honeyland, Les Miserables, Pain and Glory, and Parasite. No shocker there. I got Parasite, Pain and Glory, and Les Miserables right. I got the others incorrect.
Yeah, I got 4 out of 5.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna say I'm a good guesser. Corpus Christi, Les Miserables, Pain and Glory, and Parasite. I'd say most of these are given, especially if you follow major critics. But yeah, very, very happy to see some of these movies get love.
Oh yeah, especially Parasite.
Oh yeah, because that movie is fucking phenomenal.
Yep, let's skip up to Best Documentary Feature.
Okay, just so everyone knows, we are skipping over Best Documentary Short and Best Live Action Short.
Although I'll read the nominees just to show them
love. But it's just because we haven't seen these movies, so we can't.
We had no way of predicting these.
Yeah.
Best Documentary Shorts were In the Absence, Learning to Skateboard in a War Zone, Life Overtakes Me, St. Louis Superman, and Walk, Run, Cha-Cha. Best Live Action Short Film, Brotherhood, The Nefta Football Club, The Neighbor's Window, Saria, and A Sister. So
both of these I got 2 out of 5.
Nice.
For a little tidbit.
Yeah, no, I didn't put ones in there. Best Documentary Feature, I got 4 out of 5.
Same.
The nominees are American Factory, The Cave, The Edge of Democracy, Forsama, and Honeyland. Big noticeable thing that's missing here is Apollo 11. That is the only big, not the only snub, but one of the snubs I've seen already. People are like, whoa.
Yeah.
Very similar to Won't You Be My Neighbor last year.
Or like that's the only documentary people are really talking about. And then it's, of course, the one that doesn't get any recognition at all. Yeah.
But that's fascinating. I think that has to do with screeners. I think that Academy... I'm about to speak for a bunch of people I've never met, so take that with a grain of salt. But I think that a bunch of Academy members, they don't go and seek out to watch documentary films in the theater, so they don't know what's the popular documentary movie, which is also kind of good because they're not going to let that affect their voting. They just watch the screeners and like these are the 5 best.
So you feel like that's the most true.
So you really have to, I feel like this is the most true in terms of their personal opinions on the actual material. Because I feel like even in all the other categories, something just human. They're humans.
Yeah.
And while I think that the Oscars is still an award show that awards excellence, and I think it's one of the last ones left that still does it, of course there's going to be those things in the human brain that affect how you vote for things.
Oh, you know what? This popular filmmaker has like 500 friends in this category, and they're all going to like vote for him even though they don't think he has the best performance, but like...
Yeah, well, I mean...
I'm not saying that happens.
Yeah, and again, I'm not trying to shit on the Academy at all. Like, I think they're wonderful, and I think especially in the recent years when they re-diversified the entire Academy, I think it really helped bring different perspectives and let different films be viewed. But it's humans.
Yeah.
You know.
What do we have next, though? Cinematography, a big one. Now we're starting to get into the major ones.
This is a big win for me. I got 5 out of 5 on this one.
Look at you, making moves. What'd you get? Oh no, we both said we got 4 out of 5 on documentary.
Yes.
Go ahead
and read off the nominees.
We have The Irishman, Joker, Lighthouse. That's right, The Lighthouse. 1917 and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes. Very happy that The Lighthouse got some love.
Finally.
Really happy that Joker got this nomination because I felt like Joker got 11 nominations, but in hindsight, I'm happy, but going into it, I was worried that Joker wouldn't get in a nomination like cinematography. But even though when I watched the movie, half of my mind is like, wow, Joaquin Phoenix, and the other half was like, holy shit, the cinematography. Yeah. So I'm really glad to see that get a nomination. The Irishman, really good cinematography, even if what was in the frame looked kind of gross. But 1917, it will probably win. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, also really wonderful with its use of cinematography.
Oh yeah, especially just watching Brad Pitt drive around for 2.5 hours.
That's why I didn't get an editing nomination. That, I'm not gonna lie, that makes me happy that it didn't get an editing nomination because I would have been super pissed off.
We'll see. We'll see with the nominations, obviously, but we'll see come award time.
Yeah.
What's next? We have original screenplay. I'd say that there's a big surprise in this, and we'll talk about it in a second.
There is.
So, for the nominations, we have Knives Out, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. I would say the big outlier in this is Knives Out. Even though I picked that to win or to be nominated, I'd say it's a huge surprise just because I never really heard anyone talking about it.
Yeah, me too. And really good for Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, I'd say that's the strongest point of the movie is the screenplay.
I agree.
So I'm very happy to see him get this recognition. I got 4 out of 5.
I got 3 out of 5.
Okay. Oh, and cinematography, you said you got 5 out of 5. I got 4 out of 5.
Yeah. For screenplay, original screenplay, really shocked 1917's in there.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I mean, it's a great movie, but like, the screenplay is not the thing that you think about when you're watching that film.
Right.
And I feel like there are a bunch of other films that got shafted that could have been in here. I was hilariously wrong about The Farewell. And I really thought that was going to be a small film that came out of nowhere. I thought that was going to be the Whiplash of this year.
Yeah.
And just come through. And I think Whiplash is the lowest grossing movie to ever get a Best Picture nomination.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, Farewell's coming in. I was hilariously incorrect. And I feel like it could have gotten an original screenplay nomination over 1917, to me personally.
Yeah, I had Honey Boy just because I really loved the screenplay for that.
Yeah.
And it came from a place of heart from Shia LaBeouf. So I was like, oh, you know what? Hopefully that'll get some love. But nope. I was honestly surprised by 1917 too, because whenever they got that nomination, we were just like, okay.
Yeah.
But what's next?
Next is going to be Best Adapted Screenplay, which I got 4 out of 5 on.
5 out of 5.
You dick. The Irishman.
Yep.
Jojo Rabbit. Joker. Little Women. And The Two Popes. I didn't have Two Popes. I am forgetting what I did have instead of Two Popes at this point. But, I think I had Hustlers.
Yes. That sounds right.
Yeah, and never seen it. Probably good. I'm not outside out of mind on that one. Really happy with every other choice, though. Yeah. Really happy with every other choice.
I would agree with that. Can't really say any surprises, especially if you, like I said earlier, if you follow big film critics, this is a big one that they were talking about in this category were these 5 people. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Animated short.
Skipping over.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I got 4 out of 5.
Go ahead and read the nominations for him.
You didn't do this one, did you? We had Decora, which is daughter, I believe, and it's going to sound shitty of me, but whatever language that is, unfortunately, I don't know. Hair Love, Kit Bull, Memorable, and Sister.
Cool. What's next?
Good for them. Next.
I think this next category is where I felt like the biggest idiot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it's animated feature.
Because we, Ryan and I whipped out our metaphorical dicks during our predictions, and we were like, all 5 of these are locks. I only got 3 right.
Yeah, same. We're still in the positive with that, though.
Still over half.
Yeah.
Still over half.
But we have How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, I Lost My Body, Klaus, Missing Link, and Toy Story 4. Honestly surprised. Personally, I'm happy Frozen 2 didn't get any love.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be. I don't want to say I'm happy that movie didn't get it, but at the same time, like, I am not upset that it's missing.
That's a better way to phrase it.
Yeah. And I'm glad that they really reached for other animated films that were never going to get the spotlight. And I haven't seen Klaus. I've heard it's incredible. Yeah. And I'm really glad that Toy Story 4 still got a nomination because that movie was awesome.
Yeah, I felt like if they had Frozen 2 and Toy Story 4, they should just rename this category to Best Disney Movie.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
That, again, not happy you worded it better.
Just not upset that it's not there.
Yes, because they are showing love to other great movies.
I agree.
But here we go, getting into the real nitty-gritty of the big awards. Yep. Best Director. What do we have, Dalton?
We have Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, Todd Phillips for Joker, Sam Mendes for 1917, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. I'm going to say a few things. Okay. First thing is, I got 3 of these right. I was bold in predicting Quentin wouldn't get nominated. I was wrong. And I was bold in thinking Todd Phillips wouldn't get nominated. I was wrong. Shocked that Todd Phillips got in. I genuinely thought he was going to get screenplay, but not directing. But he directed the movie well. I'm not upset. No women, which is a noticeable thing. And what I will say, all 5 of these people did an excellent job. So I'm not going to sit here and say that they just got in because they're men, because they all did great. However, I do think that there are several female directors who, in my personal opinion, have done better than some of the people on this list this year.
Okay.
So it is a little bit sad to see, especially with last year. But overall, though, great picks, solid picks. Would like to see some different people. But, you know, I'm partially just shitty that The Farewell didn't get anything. But
I can understand that.
But
and similar to Noah Baumbach not getting nominated for Marriage Story, I feel like the same way with Greta Gerwig with Little Women.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Noah
Baumbach.
A lot of nominations in almost every category. And being a director, you're at the center of everything.
Yeah.
And how all these other categories got nominated for their movies, but they didn't get a nomination for their actual work is kind of baffling to me.
Yeah, that's where I felt about Your Ghost and The Favorite a few years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I'm surprised that Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach are not in here.
Yeah, me too.
But like you, I think these 5 people did great with their movies. I honestly have no idea who I would replace.
Yeah.
It's just one of those unfortunate things that this is just going to be a tight race, and unfortunately...
That's how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, what the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah, what the fuck are you going to do, yeah?
Yeah. All right, let's go to supporting actress.
Yeah.
Right off the bat with a surprise, Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell.
Absolutely.
Laura Dern for Marriage Story. Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit. Thank God we knew that this would happen. Florence Pugh for Little Women, and Margot Robbie for Bombshell. I got 3 of these correct. Thoughts on this category?
Well, like you said, Kathy Bates, huge surprise because that was the first category that they started off with. And as soon as they announced her name, I was like, fuck, everything I guessed is going to be wrong. But I got 3 out of 5 on this. I had Laura Dern, Scarlett Jo, and Margot. Very happy Florence Pugh got in here.
Yeah,
I think she's a phenomenal actress.
I had Laura Dern, Scarlett Jo, and Florence Pugh. However,
no Julia Butters. I know.
Oh
I know everyone's.
I know
everyone's upset about that. I am personally upset about that. Maybe next year. I mean, as a Dolphins fan, I'm used to saying maybe next year.
I was sweating a little bit.
Yeah.
That if Julia Butters got it, like how much shit I was gonna have to eat.
Oh, I would never let you live that down.
I know. I already have to eat shit for Farewell not getting anything. Really shocked to know J-Lo.
Yeah, I originally had her.
Because she had tons of buzz going into voting.
Yeah.
And she's very excellent in Hustlers. And I thought that was going to be like the wild card outside shot, like, bam, Jennifer Lopez. And it didn't happen. But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because, like, that's the only really different movie from the rest of them. So it makes sense that she would, like, sneak in there.
Yeah.
But supporting actor, we have Tom Hanks, Anthony Hopkins, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, and Brad Pitt.
I got 3 of these.
4.
You got 4? Oh, yeah, because I'm an idiot and said Tom Hanks wasn't going to get it.
No Willem Dafoe, though.
No Willem Dafoe, which is really sad.
And honestly kind of surprising.
Yeah. No, I genuinely thought that this was going to be the thing. It was like, he'll get his recognition at the Academy. Didn't.
Yep.
Which was shocking. But this is Brad Pitt's award to lose, I think. But I'm glad that both Al Pacino and Joe Pesci got in.
I think that's going to hurt them, though.
I mean, yeah, they were never going to win. They were never going to win.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's 20/20, and Tom Hanks comes in and wins in a month. You know,
yeah.
I'm just.
Yeah. I mean, Anthony Hopkins for the 2 Popes. I downplayed 2 Popes, and it did show up in a couple major categories. So good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Lead actress though, we have Cynthia Erivo, ScarJo again getting the double nominee.
Yeah.
Good for her. I'm gonna butcher her name, and I'm so sorry. Scorsese Ronan for
Martin Scorsese Ronan
for Little Women, Charlize Theron, and Renee Zellweger.
I got 3 for 5 on this one.
Okay.
Really happy ScarJo got double nominated. I think the only name that's really missing here is Lupita Nyong'o. I really feel like she deserved it. Like, I think on the same level of Toni Collette and Hereditary snub level. I think this. I will say this is the biggest snub of this year.
Okay.
To me, is.
You think if the movie came out later in the year? she'd have a better chance.
Maybe, but also horror and the Academy don't get along very well.
Mm.
The only one in recent memory is Silence of the Lambs, and that was like 30 years ago.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would have liked to see her get love. Again, I'm going to butcher her name, but what's her name?
I think it's Sorgi. Sorgi. We are
Ronan.
so sorry.
Yeah. That honestly surprised me. However, whenever I was doing my nominations, I hadn't seen that movie yet because I don't think it was out.
Mm-hmm.
But
you just saw it last night, didn't you?
Yeah, just last night for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Great film.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the only one that just kind of shocked me.
Okay.
But it's understandable. Like, all these nominations are understandable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let's move on to Best Actor.
Go ahead.
We were right about the 3 locks.
Yep.
We were wrong about the other ones.
Yep.
The nominations for Best Lead Actor: Antonio Banderas, Leonardo DiCaprio, Adam Driver, Joaquin Phoenix, and Jonathan Pryce for the movies being Pain and Glory, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Marriage Story, Joker, and The Two Popes. No Taron. No Adam Sandler, which really breaks my heart.
No Paul Walter Hauser either.
No Christian Bale.
That's fine. Yeah.
However, I'm glad we got the 3 locks correct in this one.
Funny enough, I think this is going to be the tightest race, but Joaquin is sweeping all awards coming up to it.
So, but the thing is, does that
mean he's going to lock?
Dude, Adam Driver could easily take this.
I think so could Leo.
Oh, you're right.
And I've also heard Antonio Banderas.
I've heard Antonio Banderas is very good in Pain and Glory.
Two Popes I haven't seen, so I can't really speak on that behalf. But I heard that.
Honestly, all I've heard about that movie is that it's boring.
Yeah, I've heard it's boring, but I've heard Anthony Hopkins is miles better than Jonathan Pryce. That's what I've heard. But again, I haven't seen it, so I can't speak on it personally. Okay. I think it's really going to come down to those 3, just because those 3 going into the nominations. That's all everyone ever talked about. The other 2 were kind of wild cards. People would like toss other people in those 2 spots, similar to us.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to those 3.
Yeah. Well.
Now, here we go.
Nice poll.
Thanks.
There were 9 nominees this year, and I got 8 of them correct. So I'm very pleased with that.
You got 8 as well?
Mm-hmm.
I got 8.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Nominations for Best Picture: Ford v Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. I said Little Women too, right?
I don't think so.
And Little Women.
Little Women is the 9th one.
Yeah. I think I skipped over it because I have the other ones highlighted because those are the ones that I guessed correctly. Mm-hmm. But yes, Little Women also. 9 films.
Little Women surprised me, I must say.
I knew it was either going to be that or The Farewell, and I chose The Farewell again.
What are you going to do? What the fuck are you going to do?
What the fuck are you going to do? But I not unhappy with any of these.
Yeah.
I loved all of these films. They're all in my top list of the year. Mm-hmm. And yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
We could play games all day of what could be the 10th nominee or whatever, but I think that I genuinely like all of these films.
And I'm glad they went with a high number this year, because I think last year they didn't have this
I think
many.
Last year they had 8.
Did they have 8?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm too lazy to look it up. But instead of Little Women, I had Peanut Butter Falcon, just because I think that's a great heartwarming movie.
Oh, yeah.
But like you, not upset by any of these picks. I genuinely think, for obvious reasons, one of these movies is the best movie of the year. Like, in my personal opinion, I couldn't tell you which one. I mean, I'll make my own movie list. Mm-hmm. But I genuinely think, on every level, one of these movies is the best of the year.
And here's the thing: I would be happy for different reasons for each of these movies winning Best Picture.
Absolutely.
Like, if Parasite wins Best Picture, not only is that one of the best movies of the year, but I'm going to be like, holy crap, a foreign film won Best Picture. It's never happened. If Once Upon a Time in Hollywood wins Best Picture, it's like, Tarantino finally won something other than screenplay. If 1917 wins Best Picture, it's like, wow, the one-shot Roger Deakins movie, war movie, wins Best Picture. If Marriage Story wins Best Picture, it's like, Netflix wins Best Picture. Same with The Irishman. And it's like the return of Scorsese.
And Little Women win, and Amy Pascal wins.
Yeah,
that's fucking
and that's a big bounce back for her. and Greta Gerwig as well. If
Yeah.
Joker wins, first comic book movie to ever win Best Picture, that's exciting. If
Rabbit,
Jojo Rabbit
Taika.
wins, it's Taika Waititi, and it's a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
A comedy hasn't won Best Picture since Annie Hall, I don't think.
It's 80s? 90s?
I think 80s.
80s? Fuck.
And Ford v Ferrari, if that wins, that movie
James
was
Mangold.
just James Mangold. We love him, and that movie was just fucking rad.
Yeah. I would not be upset by any of these. I would not... If one movie won...
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously, one movie's going to win over the other 8. I would not feel like it's snubbed.
Yeah.
Which makes me very happy as a film
I agree.
Fan.
I agree. I love all these films, and I'll be equally happy if each one of these wins.
And the best part of it, we're not going to have a crash.
There's no crash this year. That's right.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I would say this is one of the best years of film.
It's been a really excellent year. It's been an excellent year.
Mm-hmm. But you had a fact.
I do have something really important that I want to point out that I don't know if many people know this.
Because I didn't. I surely didn't.
Bring this up this year, and then I even got surprised by digging deeper into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where is it? Here we go. So, for those of you who don't know, the Best Picture winner. A lot of people think that the Best Picture winner is determined by the Best Director nominees or the Best Director winners. But in the past few years...
Which in hindsight would make sense.
Yes, but in the past few years, that's seen as not really all that reliable. However, people fail to see that there is a correlation with Best Picture in another category, and that's Best Editing. Ryan and I started digging into the past of like, hey, what won Best Picture the past 10 years? And we noticed that film was also nominated for Best Editing. Not win, but nominated. And then we did 20 years. Same. And then we found out only one movie in the entire century, in the past 100 years, has ever won Best Picture where it was not nominated for Best Editing.
Literally 1 out of 100.
And that's Birdman.
For the 2014 Oscars.
Yes, which is a one-shot movie, much like 1917. So people are already drawing like, oh, 1917 could win like Birdman because it didn't get the editing nomination. And now people who think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is going to take everything, not nominated in that category.
Yeah. It is literally 1 in 100 chance to win. And that is a stupid fact.
And let's go through the films that are nominated for editing.
Yeah, do it.
Ford v Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, and Parasite.
All Best Picture movies.
So what I'm going to say is that if you have a pick for Best Picture, this 5 is where I'd start looking. Now, granted, we could have another bombshell in that 1917 or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood wins. Not nominated for Best Editing.
Yeah.
It'd be the second time in 100 years that's happened.
Yep.
But the odds are against it. We'll see.
That is an insane fact. And if you're a gambling man, you could win huge.
Yeah, if you're a gambling man, one of these 5, you got to pick.
Yeah.
But if you're really trying to lose a lot of your money or win a lot of your money, go with something that's not on those 5.
Yeah, even after all the facts, again, we're not picking winners.
This isn't our official winner predictions yet.
I still feel really good. As of right now, I still feel really good about Once Upon a Time. Even after all the facts, I acknowledge it. It makes sense. Like you said, we did digging together. We found the evidence. I still feel good about it. Now, it's not 100% that I'm at, but it's definitely over 50% that I feel good. Like probably like a 65, 70% chance of it winning. Again, we still have a month. A lot of shit could come out about Once Upon a Time. A lot of shit could happen. Movies could push for different things. Maybe Sony wants to go all in on Best Picture. Maybe they pull out and go more so for director or screenplay or costume. A lot could happen between now and February.
Yep, we'll see. We got less than a month. I think it's February 9th, I think.
Yeah, a few weeks.
So we're going to be here, Oscar night. We're still debating if we're going to film us watching the Oscars. I've thought about it, but it's a lot of work.
And a lot of,
And a lot of hijinks. We say really dumb shit. So maybe not. But we're thinking about it. We might have Nick live tweet on the Movie Nights Twitter. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's go ahead and just end it early today on the Oscar nominations. Special day. It's Christmas for movie lovers. Thank you guys so much for watching the Movie Nights Oscar coverage.
Yeah.
And I got, by the way, if you calculate the ones that I did, I got 66% of them right.
Oh, yeah, I didn't calculate mine, but I'd say I'm about the
You're
same.
about, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.